The Etruscans were a civilization that flourished in Italy. The civilization lasted from the 9th century BCE to around the 1st century BCE. What we know about the Etruscan comes from the artistic and archaeological observations. We know trade was prevalent and Etruscan goods were prized in the ancient world. We know this because there were over 10,000 inscriptions on locally provided goods. The Etruscans were a highly functioning society, and they were master craftsmen. Etruscans had their own distinctive art. In this assignment, I will discuss how life and death play an intricate part in the art of these amazing ancient people. The Etruscans were considered to be the first superpower of the Western Mediterranean. Their superpower status gave them the ability to develop great cultures in cities like Florence, Pisa, and Siena. This location is known as Tuscany. These cities have all been continuously populated since the early times of the Etruscans. Something I find to be overlooked but extremely important is these enigmatic people had a major influence on ancient Roman culture. From gladiatorial combat to temple building to hydraulic engineering, the Etruscans have had their fingerprint on most things Roman. The profound effect the Etruscans had on every person, it evidenced as the modern word for person is derived from the mythological figure Perseus, which means person. This character can be found in the Tomb of Augurs. With many parallels to ancient Egypt, the Etruscans seem to have made tombs as they were homes for the dead. These structures were intricately carved from volcanic rock and solid rock. In the tombs, creation practices, they were filled with valuable items that were useful in life as well as in the afterlife. The dead could be cremated or buried. Remains were always placed underground. The decor of these tombs are a great source of information about these majestic people. Cremation was popular in the north, and inhumation was popular in the south in towns like Volterra. Inhumation is similar to mummification. Terracotta sarcophagi were used in these terracotta sarcophagi were used, and these were placed on stone or wooden funeral couches. These remains would be placed in tombs. Etruscan tombs were built outside the city walls and cemeteries. Etruscan tombs were carved out of volcanic rock, or in some cases built from tufa blocks. Sometimes these tombs were invisible from the surface. The tombs were often marked with a tumulus. A great example of this type of tomb is the Greek cemetery, was the cemetery of Cerveteri. They were marked with a tumulus and could be 33 meters wide. The street of the dead ran between the tombs. These streets bear the scars of wheel ruts to this day. From the decor of these tombs, we learn a lot about the Etruscan culture. These tombs can be described as hypogeum in nature. They were, in fact, underground chambers. The tombs were decorated with things the deceased were associated with in life. In Monterosi necropolis near Tarquina is the Tomb of Leopards from the 5th century BC. Inside this tomb, we can get glimpses of our ancient past. On a far wall, there is a depiction of a funeral banquet with 2 beautiful leopards drinking the aroma of leaves of unknown origin. It is important to add that even in times of feasting and celebration, the people of the fresco maintain civility. They do not lose themselves during wild times of celebration. This is a hint at the civilized nature of the Etruscan people of this ancient age. The tomb at Cerveteri dates back to the beginning of the 7th century. This tomb is referred to as the Tomb of Reliefs. This tomb was built to resemble a house of the living. The Tomb of Reliefs had a sloped entranceway. The necropolis at Cerveteri depicts daily life of the Etruscans. The warriors sleep now that the banquet is over. Shields, swords, and tools are cut into the walls as rock-cut reliefs. This tomb is a hypogeum, unlike some of the others that are covered mounds. The tombs of the necropolis of the Etruscan Empire are a place for the dead. However, the vibrant frequency of life is the overall feeling I get while enmeshed in the study of this civilization. The banquet remains a vibrant theme of the Etruscans, as if to say, death is not an event in life. We do not live to experience death. In this way, the necropolises are a metaphor for eternal life. This brings me to a quote from Eric Mara Remarque. Here, where you stand, a young Etruscan woman stood in just the same way 3,000 years ago, and the wind came in just this way from Africa and chased the light across the ocean. Thank you.